Yes. Take this down, man. Sunday. Let me know you can hear me on YouTube, man. Let's pause this. I'm only working with one monitor, so give me some slack. Happy Sunday, man. Sunday's the day, man. You start taking Sunday and figuring, oh, what's up, man? Are we on the camera? So Sunday service is about getting your focus. Let's pull this up. Audio's good, man. All right, man, if you're on YouTube, you know what's up. Click like, all that good stuff so they know I'm a good guy, man. And follow along. Sunday is really not about ticker symbols, but about philosophy. And I think the trick to anything is having a philosophy about it. And if you don't develop a philosophy of life, philosophy of living, philosophy of money, you're not going to progress as a person. You're not going to take advantage of time times amount times yield. Literally 1/3 of the fucking formula to get rich, you were fucking given because you were born. And this Sunday we're going to curse at church. I normally try not to, but man, this week I had an encounter, and everyone I encounter is a financial transaction. And it's like, I'm curious about your money flow. What is it you do, man? How do you make a living? How do you live, man? And it's no judgment on them, but I'm just curious. And here's the crazy thing. Everyone I meet, I can help, man. That's the weird thing, man. Everybody's doing it so wrong. If you have my free ebook, you don't have to die broke. This is the pre-runner to the money flow trading system, right? Which when we're talking about stocks, we're thinking trading, making money, investing, collecting dividends. You know, you can make shit tons of money as an investor in the stock market if you own dividend stocks and REITs and business development companies, if you buy them at the right time, if you begin to understand value and use this is a tool in front of you. This chart, sometimes people are like, what's the ticker? Man, it don't even matter. Listen, when you begin to watch where you can watch price patterns, right? And what I began to figure out is that it leaves clues, man, evidence. You know when it's going to rain. You don't need to be a meteorologist. But you didn't need to go to fucking college to walk outside and go, oh shit, dude. Why? Because the sky changes. What do you mean? It's a repeatable pattern. It looks the same every time. Hurricanes look the same. Winter storms, it always looks the same, man. Tons of shit in your life looks exactly the same. Traffic, spending habits, exercise. And what I began to figure out, there's a couple things I call it money flow. One is this trading strategy right here, where we try to pick and determine these here to use them to our advantage. And it's not because we know where price is going. It's just we know price is going. It's going up, down. It's not going to ask you. So you might have a fucked up Sunday, and on Monday you're like not into it. AT&T is going to open. Tesla, Apple, all kinds of money is going to hit the ground. Bitcoin, all over. It's going to go from Europe. It's going to go from fucking England to China to India, and everyone's going to play this game. You can decide to play it tomorrow or not. That's the crazy thing, man. What's up, Professor? So when you wake up tomorrow, Monday morning, you can have money involved in this game, or you can choose not to. I met a guy at a thing. I put this on my podcast. I did a walk-in one today. And I'm at a party last night. You know why? Because it's 101 days till Mardi Gras. So we're going to celebrate that. There's 101 days and then it happens. So we're going to have a party. And that's what they did. Big deal, big party. Bring in a band, and I'm talking to this guy. He's getting divorced, and I said, 4 Ds, baby. And he's like, what do you mean? Death, divorce, disinterest, disease. Death, divorce, disease, disinterest. So it takes everyone's money. 4 things are going to take your money. Death, you die. You don't get to take it with you. Although I've got 2 ways you can. Sell it all, put it in a cashier's check, put it in a coffin with me. Put that shit all in Bitcoin, put it in a hard drive, I'll take it with me. You can take it with you. Don't let them tell you, guy, well, you can't take it with you. Bullshit, I can. You just don't understand money. You can take it with you. You can vaporize it. Or you can multiply it and grow it. And this guy, we started talking. He said, what do you do? I said, I trade stocks, man. I trade stocks. I buy shit low and sell it high. He's like, what do you mean? I mean, I take money, man. And I buy some stuff down here and then I sell it up here. And I watch business and I watch what I call the money flow, which is money, man. And I didn't get in all that with him, but that's what I wanted to tell him is I live by this philosophy. It's made me a very wealthy person. And I asked him, I said, hey man, we got to talking about real estate. And he said, I used to own a duplex and I owned it in this area and I paid $140,000 for this duplex, which is down here. So if we're watching the money flow, it's this here, 4 stages of price movement. This is all fear and greed. Human beings agree on any given day what the value of something is. And those people who can get ahead of that, understand value and understand movement, and who are prepared for it and approach it with this, with intention, can capitalize on it because most people aren't paying attention. And this guy, they're not following the S&P. Now, this is the S&P 500. Watch what I do here. Watch what I do here. This here is called the RSI, Relative Strength Index. It's one of 6 indicators that we look at inside the money flow. Let me tell you something. Hold on, man. Fuck it. Are we live right now? Are we live right now? We got 62 people on YouTube. That's not cool. So we got 62 people on YouTube. I'm fixing to show them how to get rich, and there's only 62. Maybe they'll watch the playback. So, give me just a second. What you should do right now, stop thinking. A lot of your thinking has gotten you broke. So be quiet and just listen to me. I'm going to show you how to get rich. Okay? Sometimes people can't get rich because they're too busy being busy, or you got too many filters. Hold on, I'm doing something. All right, there we go. Now we're live on Twitter too, man. Just became. The 4 stages of price movement is the price and the way price moves. The way I've displayed it inside of the Money Flow Trading System book, which is a cult classic, is like this. And that price moves every day, up, down, every day it wakes up. It's total it's chaos, man. It has a low and a high. And we describe it, we record it, right? A life worth living is a life worth recording. We record it on a bar. Some of you guys use candlesticks. Right there, it says $398.51. That's where price closed. And every day this history is recorded. There's a close, there's a high, there's a low. Right? Any one day doesn't really mean a lot, but a multiplication of days starts to build what we call a pattern. Inside of the money flow, I call it a fractal pattern. And that the entire thing is fractal because money is fractal. The only reason money works is it's fractal. The only reason time works is because it's fractal. That's how you can use time. Every day at 6 o'clock, I'm going to do this. Well, that's a 24-hour fractal. And you're repeating a pattern, and through the repetition of a process is the mother of skill, man, through over and over and over. But that's because you learn to use time. And it's the same in the market. All this is time, man. These moving averages, they're just trying to make sense of time. Because day to day, it doesn't make sense, man. It's chaos. The money flow trading system is fractal. Fractal is a never-ending pattern. Fractals are infinitely complex patterns that are self-similar across different scales. They are created by repeating a simple process over and over again in this ongoing feedback loop. Driven by recursion, fractals are images of dynamic systems. The pictures of chaos. Did you hear what I just said there? Pictures of chaos. I have a book that I haven't released yet. Some of you have it. We're close enough. That's this noise you hear. Right here. It's called Chaos to Cash. I'm still working on it, man. Some of you got the rough draft. Page 8, it says, what I'm about to show you and the money gathering formula you're about to discover is foreign to 93% of mankind. So when I'm talking to that guy, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. He has no clue. You know what the money flow is. He makes money, blows it all, wastes it. 20 years later, nothing. So he tells me he had a duplex, but he sold it. He sold it to buy himself a house. Okay, he paid 140. Well, in that area today, they're worth about 600,000. But here's the thing: he didn't just do one; he had done that deal 3 times over his life. Over 20 years, he had owned 3 duplexes. We'll do the math on that. I'm not that bright, but 600,000 plus 600,000 plus 600,000 added up. But he doesn't have it because he sold it. So he fucked up his own wealth, man. He cut himself off. He's like, fuck, I don't want to have $3 million. Why the fuck would I want to do that? Sell it. And that's what he did, because he doesn't go into Sunday, like he's not on Sunday. Okay, we got to do the best we can this week, grow our wealth, to grow our portfolio, to accumulate more. We want more. He didn't do that, man. And if you don't consciously do that, step into the money flow, consciously do that. Remember we talked in the beginning, you got to get your buckets right. Why? Because you don't have your buckets right, then you don't have any money. If you don't have any money, you can't put it in the game. If you can't put it in the game, you can't multiply it. Time times amount times yield. So then you got to sell your duplex that you paid 140 for 280, and you're like, man, I did a pretty good job. Except now it's 600,000, paying $3,200 a month. That's what this is about, man. The money flow. This movement of price. This is a conscious living thing, man. It's not waiting on you. You know, this ain't asking your permission. This is just moving. Look at this. You know, we could talk indicators, right? What are indicators? Technical indicators are heuristic or mathematical calculations based on price, volume, or open interest of a security or a contract used by traders who follow technical analysis. By analyzing historical data. Now the government says, all right, you ready? Past performance is not indicative of future results. Let me say it again. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Matter of fact, they make you say that on any financial company. It says it right there. Past performance is not indicative of future results. And yet every fucking indicator in the world is based on past performance, past volume, past interest. Every economic indicator that they do at Harvard and MIT, it's all based on past historical data, man. All data is based on the past, man. And yet then they say, oh, hold on. Past performance is not indicative of future results. You ever hear that, man? That never confused you? Am I the only guy that ever thought that was strange? Check out the channel for peaceful meditation while studying charts this week. GP, keep the YouTube live so I can listen while I DoorDash. Nice. My man's on DoorDash. All right. Truth is, money flow system is based completely on past performance. Your performance is based on past performance. Your kids' report cards is based on, everything's based on past performance, man. That's all we have to go on. But we don't know the future. And that's the chaos part, man. And that's the uncertainty about trading. Right? But what we hope to do as traders is develop some sort of skill set. Trading's a skill, man. Trading and investing in the stock market is a skill set. The good news is it's a skill set that can be learned. Anyone with an interest, anyone can invest and honestly be successful. You know, Investing is a skill you learn, much like learning to use a computer or driving a car. No prior investing experience is needed for someone to immediately become a successful investor. It's not necessary to be an economist or a financial wizard. You don't need a degree in accounting or finance. You don't need permission. You can learn the basic skills you need necessarily to build wealth in the stock market. Go to chapter 10. Go to my free ebook, go to chapter 10. And then fucking master that. Memorize it. Know it so well you can like repeat it to a complete stranger. And they're like, hey, what do you think? You're like, oh man, here, chapter 10. Let me break this down for you. It's a code. It's a blueprint. It's almost perfect in a way, man. Go look at it. Go read it. Digest it. And when you get it, and you start to figure out charts, and you begin to lay this over that process, man. And as you do that, all of a sudden it begins to make order. It begins to make order out of chaos, the day-to-day chaos of price, which is why they tell you past performance is not. They want you to know, man, fuck, we don't know what's going to happen. So here's the crazy thing. A mutual fund has to tell you, oh, hey, by the way, past performance. The president doesn't have to tell you that. He can just say, hey, vote for me. We're going to do this. Mutual fund, they can't do that. They can't say, hey, put your money here. We're going to make this. They don't get to do that. Politics, they can just fucking look right at you and lie. The government can look right at you and lie. Just completely lie. Like they mail you shit. It's just bullshit. They just make it up. Completely legal. But you get in the world of finance, they can't do that. Right? All of a sudden there's rules. Now, the people in charge, there's no rules. But for everyone else, there is. So for us, me and you, we got to operate and realize, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, man. I have no idea. But I know this. I know there's a pattern. I know when it's going to rain, there's a pattern. I know when, so these patterns, this is a fractal pattern. So as I look at price and I watch it and I have these indicators, man, I can begin to watch it. All I'm looking for is a fractal pattern, man. And look, you can see it. Look, you don't have to be that. Let's just keep it simple. Like if you're a kid with a crayon, once we understand these indicators, what I mean by indicators right there, those dotted thing, that right there, that's a 5-day moving average, exponential moving average, that's 10-day. And if you don't know what that is, look it up. This is a 20-day simple moving average. That's a 200-day moving average. This is the relative strength index. This is the TSI, true strength index. Go look it up. It's in my book. This is the histogram to the MACD moving average, convergence, divergence. And this is stochastics, slow stochastics, right? Go look at it. Not complicated. And they're all laid over price. Volume, I don't really give a shit. I don't really care. All I'm doing is I watch price, is I know it does this. I know it moves. And then it flows. The movement of price. And when I began originally, people would tell me, hey, price goes sideways, price goes up, goes down. Can only do 3 things. When I figured out as well, yeah, kind of. But if you want to make order out of that chaos, it's not 3, it's 4. Price moves in 4 stages, not 3. It doesn't do just 3 things. It does 4, right? And it does it because people are greedy and people are fearful and they're fucking stupid and they don't understand and they freak out at every chance and they get too hysterical and they get too fucking, and that's what people do. And they commit crimes and they lie and steal and there's wars and all that shit moves price up and down. And then people come in and they think, oh, I know what this is going to do. And they're all interpreting the same data, the ongoing feedback loop every day. On Monday, shit's going to start coming at you. And you're going to be like, oh, maybe I should sell this or buy that or click this. And that's just coming at you over and over and over and over. Ongoing feedback loop. And as you look at price, they're fucking tweeting. There's people on the news. People are saying things. And they're all trying to interpret that. And somehow out of that, we get the price of wheat or gold or Bitcoin or oil or the Dow Jones Industrial Average or the S&P 500 or the fucking NASDAQ, right? Or the bond market. You're like, what are bonds? They're like 2%, 2-year bonds, 5-year, fucking the short window, the long window, right? Like you start looking at REITs, whatever it is, right? Closed-end funds, ETNs, electronically traded notes, fucking hedge funds, private equity funds, right? Business development companies. Oh my God, it just keeps going and going. And then there's sectors and then subsectors. And then there's different types of stock. Like it just goes on and on and on. And every once in a while you bump into someone acts like they know. It's like, you don't know shit. You can't comprehend all of this, man. Stop. You don't know anything. I don't know anything. It's too much to know, man. That's why we use this. The reason I rely on the fractal pattern is I don't know. That's what I don't know. That's what past performance indicative. It's like, fuck, I don't know. Right? And so people don't know. And if being smart gave you some kind of advantage, then all smart people would be rich. And that's just not true. Most of them are broke. And so I'm talking to a very capable man last night, 54 years old, going through a divorce. I go, I know. 4 Ds, baby. Death, divorce, disease, disinterest. You could have looked out for that already. That was, you're like, well, maybe that's not in his control. Okay. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it isn't. And then we talked about the assets, but he had sold them and then consumed them. And so he was given time. I was given time. Me and this dude are basically the same age. What's the difference? I didn't sell assets. I collected them. That was it, man. As I'm talking to this guy, he's smart. He's intelligent. And has no money. But he was given time. This every day, man. This here, he was doing something. When that happened right there, he was fucking here. He was doing something. But he didn't look, man. And then it went down. It goes up, it goes down. And it doesn't care. It's like if you don't watch, it just keeps doing it anyway, man. That's the beauty of this. In other words, it's always there for you. So this movement of price, it's always like this. It's always moving, man. Everything, gold, silver, uranium, copper, corn, soybeans, everything. Price, Bitcoin. Right now, everything is moving. And it's moving and it's flowing through the 4 stages, man. Right? And you can learn this. But what good does it do for you to learn this if you don't have any money? What good does it do this if you can't? You get what I'm saying? So it's bigger than that. So learning, trading, this stuff, man, this stuff is not complicated. You just got to believe it. You just got to, I know what price does. It goes sideways, it goes up, it goes sideways, it goes down. I'm not fucking confused at all where price goes. This is going to go and it's going to tag this yellow line. I would have told you the exact same thing there. Would have told you exact same thing there. And it's just going to keep doing it, this pattern of price moving, right? So what is this? This is the SPY. Let's go to 3M. Look at this. That green line we know is at the core of the philosophy. You got to have a philosophy, man. What is your philosophy? Everybody on here is 105 people on Instagram. He says it's hard to hear me on YouTube. Man, why do they keep blocking this? All this dude said was damn, and they blocked it. We got 143 on YouTube. All right, man. So we've got 243 people in the money flow tonight. The basic philosophy of the money flow trading system. The stock market goes up as much as 71% of the time. The problem is it's not a straight line. Price can only do one of 3 things: move up, move down, move sideways. I believe price does this in 4 stages. By identifying the stage, we can better allocate our buys to take advantage of sell-off, stage 4 decline, to maximize price increase to take profits in stage 3s. Money flow trading system is a trend following strategy that hopes to capture the uptrends, avoid or downsize share, or capitalize by shorting the down movements depending on your goals. The strategy is based on the belief that price moves in 4 stages, and 71% of the time it drifts higher. Basic money flow, then boom, right? This is a pretty good book right here, man. I shouldn't have let some people see it. I talk about this needs to become a part-time business for you. Money, trading, managing your money, it should be a part-time business. That's why I get mad at people. They're like, man, should I hire a property manager? No! Getting rich needs to be a part-time business of yours. What the fuck, man? Like part of your side hustle is you getting rich. Making a lot of money, man. What the fuck? So many people have given up on that. It's like crazy to me. Like I'm talking to this guy, I'm just standing at the bar, and he's like, he had a duplex. He made doubled his money, so he sold it, took that and bought himself a house. And then like 4 years later, they saved up, they bought another one. Same thing, he was up a couple $100,000, sold it. And then fast forward, he's done this 3 times. And I'm like, each one of those now is worth $600,000, making $3,200 a month in rent. So if we're talking about 3 of them, that's $10,000 a month that are worth what are they worth? Like $2 million. So that means he's probably made $5 million off these 3 fucking transactions. But he doesn't have them now because they sold them along the way. Now they're getting divorced and splitting nothing. So instead of having millions, he's got like 200,000. After 20-something years, he got the time. God gave it to him. He had the amount. He bought the damn things. So he had the amount. He's got the job. What is that? He doesn't have a philosophy, man. So as I'm talking, he doesn't have a philosophy of this. He doesn't understand this stuff, man. They're not doing this. They're not trying to allocate money to appreciation or cash flow. Like they're not doing that. They're surviving, trying to live, man, moment to moment. Like, oh, I got a little score, let me eat that. Right? So what this is about, ultimately what the money flow is about, if you go all the way back to You Don't Have to Die Broke, in the opening chapter 1 is entitled The Money Flow, and it ain't even about trading stocks. It says, imagine, if you will, a well. An old-fashioned well. You know, the kind where you lower a bucket to retrieve water on the ground in front of the well. You notice there's 3 empty buckets. You notice each bucket is labeled. One of the buckets is labeled necessity. Second bucket's labeled savings. Third bucket's labeled investing. So this is a philosophy. I mean, this is how I do money. I make money, that's a well. I want to dig a lot of fucking wells. I want like 8 ways to make money. I don't want 1. I want like 3, 4, 5, right? So I make like 7 right now. One I'm maybe $400 a month. This one's like this. This one's this. This one's that. This one's this. This one's that. But I need some wells. I need money coming to me, right? That's just a way of thinking, a philosophy. So if I don't have one, I'm looking for one. If I have one, I'm working on that one or looking for another. And then when that's working, I'm looking to add another. That's just a philosophy, okay? One of the buckets is labeled necessity. Second bucket's labeled savings. Next bucket's labeled investing. So here's where people go wrong. We start learning this, right? And they're putting a little bit of money in this because they're saving a little bit of money for kids' college, and they're paying off a little bit of debt, and they're doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And he's got a lot of fucking little bits, a little bit, instead of straight line, like focus. Bam. Let's eliminate things, and like that's no more. It's off the table. No little bit to it. There's nothing to it. No energy whatsoever is given to that. It's done. And then it's focused, man. So then you can build and you can get these things here with it's 100 shares. And so that's $13,200 instead of, $620. Like, let's be pissed off that it's $620 and let's make that 13 fucking thousand. Right? Where you don't need to ask permission for that. Let's get this to 50,000. Maybe make these 100. Maybe it's 1,000 shares. But that's not going to happen if you're not thinking about that, man. Right? Like, you got to be focused on that. That's not going to accidentally happen. You know what I mean? Like, so this guy that I met, he didn't have no philosophy, man. They ate it. They consumed it through life, and he could have been a multi-millionaire doing the 3 stupid little things that he did with the duplex. It was so, he just put down payment, they gave him the keys, he puts people in it. A little while later, his equity, like he sold it, he got the money, he ate it. They ate it because they needed it. And so the trick to money is not needing money, man. The trick to money is I don't need this money. Let me say it again. Trick to money, you don't need money. Moment you don't need money, you attract money. Money comes from money. That's how, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're trying to get passive money, it comes from money. Having money you don't need. The moment you need it, eat it, drink it, have sex with it, smoke it, sleep with it, buy groceries with it, pay electric bills with it. If it's allocated somewhere else, then it can't double, triple, quadruple. And when it can't 10x, how does the 10x become 100x? You know, and you're just compounding too small. That's the problem, man. That's the problem. Which book is this from? This is from the Book of Life, man. I'm trying to save your soul. Is anybody on YouTube? He says, which book is he talking about? Yeah, I got a new book called Chaos to Cash. Thanks, Steve. It's right here in front of me, man. It's just a variation on the money flow. But I try to drive home the point in there that this is a pattern. Like, look how perfect this is. This one was perfect. Our job as traders is to determine our time frame. Are we trading on it? Are we scalping? What is your time frame? Because this is a fractal pattern. All of this is happening. We can lower the time frame. During the week, I do that, drop the time. We're not going to get into all that here, right? Here, I just need you to believe that this is how price moves, man. Price moves based on fear and greed, and nobody knows, and it just moves. And a stage 3 is just the opposite of a stage 1, man. They're just the opposite. The indicators line up exactly opposite. And what it does is it swings, man, and price goes too high, and then it goes too low, and then it goes too high, and people freak out, and then they get greedy, and it moves up and down. And what we try to determine is, like, what is it worth? That's the edge. That's what investing is, man, is understanding value. And so if you don't understand value, then you do some sort of form of passive investment. You're like, fuck, I don't know how to do it. But index funds work. Yeah, because over time, 70% of the time, stocks go up. The value of the companies, the share price, there's more people buying, there's inflation, shit just goes up. It just drifts up. The price of houses for your grandfather was cheaper than for his kid, and then cheaper for you, and it'll be more expensive for your kids. It's called inflation. And guess what? Lumber costs more, and insurance, and it's just going to keep going up and up and up. And that's what happens, man. You know? So a house of 300, it would be 350, but in the middle it moves up and down. And that's the same thing stocks do. They just going up and down. So what we can do is, as we watch price, all we got to do is figure out how to value it. So what's this company worth, man? Let's look. Let me show you a cheat code, man. Come over here to Morningstar. Let's put it in. What's this company worth? $1.83. What's it trading at? $1.32. It's undervalued. Would we buy this? This is 3M, ticker MMMM. Not BBB. It's not some S&M. This is the MMM, 3Ms. 3M, the company 3M. Now, we've talked all week, the last couple of weeks ad nauseum. I've been telling you the cheat code. When price is under that 200 there, that golden line, when price is under that, it's on sale. Now, go confirm that, but at your first glance, if you got to make a quick decision, it's below that, it's probably on sale. So this is an indicator for me. It's under here. Okay, cool. What's it worth? Now, if I can get it under here, and then I can get for it to go technically oversold. So not only is it on sale, not only is it trading undervalue, but now it's trading like ridiculously undervalued. It's technically what they call oversold or overbought, right? They're opposite. So I'm trying to get those things to line up, you know? And then I know, well, if it ever makes a run back to value, if it ever pushes toward value or gets close, it's going to go up. And when it does, you know, we call that a breakout. And we're looking, that's where that green line comes in. I know in every move, in every run, every time prices broke out and ran, it goes over this green line. And so now what? That's just a fractal pattern. All that is a measurement of price, man. 20-day simple moving average just measures price. It's 1 month of trading. Monday through Friday, markets close. Opens up Monday. Monday through Friday, markets close for the weekend. Opens up Monday. Monday through Friday, and then we average those. So we just take the average, put it out. This is the money. This is the 20-day moving average. Simple moving average. If price is above it, we can just simply look at price and go, boom, look, it's higher than the last month. Uptrend. You're like, well, uptrend, uptrend. And if it's below that, it's undervalued and it's uptrend. Right? And so I begin to like, what does that do? It allows me to, it gives me a repeatable pattern. Right? So I know, okay, I can see that. I can spot that. Right? And so I know, boom, and I can see that's what this chart does for us. We have this massive move up and it breaks above the 20. I mean, how bullish do you need to be? It fucking exploded and it goes above it. Well, guess what? Every time it does that, every time it explodes and breaks above it, like price rips and it goes above the 20. So we know that becomes a signal for us. Like that's a breakout. That's now a new movement. It's stage 2. And we just assume it just keeps going. And what do I assume? It's just going to keep going until what? It stops. And typically when it stops, this is where I turn to other indicators like relative strength and boom, it goes over set. I'm like, okay, I'm waiting. I think it's going to, okay, this is the highest high. This is probably stage 3. And I draw my line. Well, if I think this is a pattern, meaning price goes sideways, runs up, then it tops and goes sideways and then runs down, then it goes sideways and runs up, right? So if I'm watching this, see how I can start to line up all this? Yeah, I can start to line up things, man. That's a philosophy. That's a philosophy of trading. What's up, Rich? Where are we at on YouTube, man? 135 viewers. All right, man. Appreciate all you guys here, man. Yeah, I couldn't do it this morning. Couldn't do Sunday service this morning. I filter back and forth, man. I like doing it in the morning because I can get it going. I like doing it in the morning. If you catch me live during the week, I try to do more like teaching on entries, exits, targets, specific stocks. Sunday is just to bring your mind that, man, it's just price movement. And we understand time times amount times yield. And we know that over time we win, man. This is going to win. It always has. Market goes up. It's not anything to even be worried about, man. It really isn't. Unless you're buying crazy speculative shit, it's really not something to worry about. Things go up, things go down. The way you protect yourself is through diversification of different assets. And now, if you look at this, that's not a deal, right? 71. So now if I'm looking at this as a trader, I'm looking as a swing trader, I'm looking to take profits as an investor. Damn sure not buying here, right? I wanted to buy down here. And so if I'm always in a state of that, of buying the one, which is accumulation, selling into the distribution if I want to sell or raise money, right? So I don't want to be a forced seller. I don't want to be the guy fucking puking it out down here, man. I want to be selling it up here. You know? But a lot of times that means we got to have some sort of repeatable formula. And we got to protect ourselves from ourselves. And that's where we get into portfolio management, different sectors, and being smart. A lot of that stuff, a lot of that, just plain old vanilla advice, there's a lot to some of that. The consistency of investing, of setting up, retirement fund. All that stuff is great. The problem, what they leave out is they lie to people, in my opinion, on what it takes, man. So what they want, what the traditional system wants you to do is, hey, man, just do like 5-10%, set that over here, just put it in every month. Don't look at it. Just put it in, right? That's not a good strategy, man. Sending your money to somebody else to manage your money, that is not a good strategy. Especially people you don't know, man. So make sure if people manage your money, you need to know who they are, man. You need to know them better than you know a fucking football team. You're like, what do you mean? Like, okay, you know all these stats on basketball. You don't know who's running your 401k. You don't know where that money's like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you gotta get serious with this shit, man. And so if you're not get that under control, man. Put that in, make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing with that money, man. That's your first calling, is to be a steward. That's where the money flow starts, is understanding the money flow, man. Do you mind execute Windows on M1? I don't even know what that means, man. Get on top of that stuff. There's a sign on the well that challenges you to try your hand at a game. It's a simple game that everyone's invited to play. To win, you must fill all three buckets to the brim with water from your well, and the water is obviously synonymous with money you make from your job. If you do fill all three buckets, you win. Sounds easy, right? The prize for winning, you become wealthy. You're financially free. You can retire worry-free. You can surround yourself with things that bring you joy. You will be free from having to exchange your time or talent in exchange for money. It seems to be an easy challenge, but there are two problems. The well will only give you so much water in a given time. If you look closely at the buckets, you'll notice that the one bucket labeled necessities has a hole in it. And this is no small hole either. It's a big-ass hole in the bucket. I'm using the metaphor here, of course, and you probably guessed it represents your source of income. The water you pull out of the well represents your monthly, yearly income. The amount of water you can pull out of the well income determines how much water you can put into each of the three buckets. It's good stuff, man. I would highly advise you to revisit that sometimes, because it's at the core of your trading, man. It means you need money. We need money. Where are we at on? He says, why do you trust Morningstar for value? They come to my house, Larry, and massage me. They offer me intimate services. Larry. I don't know, man. It's like a 30-year-old firm that hires kids that graduated from Wharton Business School to analyze stocks. They've been doing this before you were born. Probably not, but they've been doing it for a while. Where were you today, GP? So the reason is through research, I like their research. I like their commentary, their writing. I like the algorithm. You know, I like the way they speak to me. Soft, succulent. Stock market advice. No, it's a good service, man. Check it out. Do this. Ask less questions and do more. Just like, don't have a fucking opinion. Just do it. Try that. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it and stop having opinions. And you'll be all right, man. Then you'll be there with me and you'll be like, God damn, look at this. I knew that was going to there. That's why. Because I said so. So price is going up on this. Let's go look at AT&T for a second. That's why. Look at this beautiful thing we have here at AT&T, man. I mean, the moment, look at this. Remember the default line. We know, just as a general rule, that when price goes under the 200-day moving average, it's undervalued, or it's undervalued. Don't ask me why, Larry, either. It just is. Just stop. Just listen and just accept it. Don't ask why. Like, are we almost there? Are we almost there? Dad, are we almost there? Like, don't. Just listen. It just is. If price is under this 200, long before you got here, we were working on this and we figured it out. Okay? That means it's undervalued. And go look, chart after chart after chart, you'll see this. And there's this pressure, it starts to pull price back toward it. Well, if we know that, whenever we see it get down there, we're really paying attention, right? And the more this thing goes under the 200, the more excited I am. Now, I got to confirm this though, okay? Can't just go off the 200, although you could most of the time. And you're like, what do you mean? Meaning, maybe you're like Larry and you're like, fuck, I don't want to pay Morningstar, man. Why the fuck you use that service? Don't use them. When you see dividend stocks go under this yellow line, just assume it's undervalued. Like, you don't even have to give Morningstar $200. You don't have to be in the trading group with me in Discord. You don't have to do that. Just know when it, I mean, I'm giving it to you now. Just know when it's below that yellow line, it's probably on sale. So if we come up here and we look, and then Larry says, why are you going to use them? Watch this, man. This is fucking magic. You can go read their books and go through all that stuff and go read all kinds of books on value in stocks. Or this dude here, this Michael Hodel, CFA. Look at his haircut, man. I got long hair. You're not going to want to listen to me. Look at that guy. Look how handsome this guy is. And he's a director, man. Larry's not a director. So Michael Hodel, CFA, October 22nd. AT&T's third quarter results. And you can go read this. It just goes on and on. He's going to talk all about it. And they break down the books. And they tell you what they think based on their algorithm and stuff. And I could go, what about, who's Michael? Why do I want to listen to this guy? Right? We could click on it. And we come over here and see. You could be like, Michael Hodel, CFA's Director of Communications Services Equity Research at Morningstar Research Services, LLC, wholly owned subsidiary of Morningstar. He covers the U.S. telecom service providers and related firms, including AT&T, Verizon, and Comcast. His team, all they do all fucking day is study this shit here. So while Larry's laying cable or framing or doing whatever fuck he does during the day, this is what this guy does. Okay? And then for a small fee, he'll tell us. Okay? He'll tell us what his team, he covers U.S. telecom provider-related firms, AT&T and Comcast. His team cover media companies, global telecom service providers, owners of telecom infrastructure such as wireless towers, data centers. He joined Morningstar in 1998. What year is it now? I'm not sure, but I think that's like 24 years now. I'm picking on you, Larry, man. So 24 fucking years ago, he was studying stocks. I highly doubt you were. Anybody here been doing it for 24 years? Got a CPA, you work on a telecom service team, you went to Wharton Business School. Now, let's see, where did he go? I don't know where he went. Let's see. Hodel holds a bachelor's degree in finance with the highest honors from the University of Illinois. At the Urban, a master's degree in business administration from the University of Chicago Booth School of Business. He also holds a chartered financial analyst designation. Been doing it 22 years. And if I give these guys $200 a year, this dude will tell me what he thinks of this stock. This service is so undervalued. Sometimes people are like, you think I should pay for that? No, don't pay for it, man. Don't actually know what the fuck you're doing. Don't know the values of things. Don't know anything. So AT&T is 24% undervalued. Well, I didn't need these guys to tell me because I got the money flow. And I know price moves in 4 stages. So I know something that Michael Hodel and all his bullshit degrees from the University of whatever and his master's fucking whatever that degree is. All that stuff aside, I don't need to know any of that stuff. If I got this here and I know price moves in 4 stages and I just believe that's the way it moves, then I can trade that. Now what if I combine the two of that stuff together, man? You get what I'm saying? That's the money flow. Now what if I combine that on purpose with money and I just push money in there? What happens then, man? What happens in 10 years, 20 years? Now, back to the party. I'll wrap up here. My friend at the party didn't prosper because he sold the stuff and got rid of it and ate it. Never got to compound it, never grew it. And just went on and started over, never grew it. Went on, started over, and never grew it, man. So what's going to make this work for you is not only having this information, that the money flow, and believing that over time, stocks move up. So the reason I never sold my stocks, is I know they go up. And the reason I didn't sell my properties is I know they go up. Everything I own goes up, and you get richer and richer and richer and richer. All I got to do is push money into it and keep it. So the trick to money is having money. Trick to money is not needing money. Once you understand that, and that's only because you read it, researched it, studied it, and created it as a philosophy in life, like being fucking Judas, being in Judaism, or being a Buddhist, or being a whatever. Like you take it on as a philosophy of like growing wealthy and richer. When you do that, that's what happens. 100 fucking percent. And if you don't, it doesn't happen. 100%, man. That's the money flow, man. That's the money flow, man. You guys be good. If you need a place to trade, let me know. We love to have you with us, man.